Well, it's a big week here on Wrestling Spotlight TV. It's the second two-day premium live event of the year for WWE. First time they've done it. They're trying to lift SummerSlam up to the level of WrestleMania. And I think with the card they're putting out, they're kind of showing that's what they're doing. It's a big difference from the SummerSlams before. Watching Wrestling Spotlight TV, weekly champions, Gerald Bentley here, Mr. Cincinnati from the Wrestling Junkies podcast, Sonny the Man Eagle Cain. You can get us on 30 different streaming platforms. True TV Plus is the home base, though. You can download that app anywhere you get apps for your smart devices, Apple or Android, and every smart TV across the country. And guys, I know this is the WWE's week. I mean, they're getting ready to go. So after just bringing up AEW quickly, we'll let them cook because they're putting on the thing that's going to take the oxygen out of the room. But with AEW Dynamite, I just want to say I was really impressed with the show they put on. I thought the World Championship match with Hangman and Jon Moxley was really well done, even when you went into it knowing that there's virtually no chance in the world Moxley was going to win.
Yeah.
But a really good competitive match. And then I thought the women's tag team match was really good as well. And they're legitimately elevating Athena up to being a legitimate threat to Toni Storm. Toni Storm, Alex Windsor going up against Billy Starks and Athena, the Fallen Goddess, your forever ROH champion. What did you guys think of the Dynamite last night? I think they're on a roll. Mr. Cincinnati.
Yeah, it feels like, again, especially coming off of the electric show that was All In, it definitely feels like they've turned that corner.
Well, sound went out. There you go. Yeah, gotcha.
You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
So I think that they're finally turning the corner right now, and there's going to be this excitement that they've absolutely earned here. We've got Toni Storm doing the best work of her career. Hangman Page is the guy right now. I also want to shout out Christian Cage. His promo basically eviscerating Nick and Shayna Wayne, Kip Sabian. It is setting, Copeland challenged him to go find himself. And that's what we're starting to see here. And I'm going to be really intrigued to see this character that Christian Cage has presented over the last 3+ years as a heel, how he's going to take some of that edge as he, pun intended, and because we know that he's going to turn face soon. We know the reunion with Cope is coming. It is going to be interesting to see these guys back together, especially as the veterans that they are. This is a reunion tour that we've been kind of looking forward to for a very long time. And I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, a pairing you didn't think you'd really see again, both with them being in different companies, with both of them dealing with major neck injuries. So, yeah, that's definitely something that, we're seeing the Hardy Boys back together. Sonny, are you excited to see Christian and Edge, the Rated R Superstar, back together?
Very excited. I think it's good for business. I think they've come together at the right time. So I've only been watching AEW for 15 months or so since I've been a part of this show. And I could tell a major upswing from when I started watching it to now. It's getting more of an NWA Days of Old feel to it. They've got more competitors in it now than when I started watching it 15 months ago. And the writers are just doing a really good job at pairing people up, building up the ring images so they can fight each other. And that's something the fan doesn't always get, Mr. Cincinnati, is it takes a minute to sit down and pair two people up and say, okay, we're going to do this, but here's why we're going to do this. And that's why it takes a few months to come all the way out sometimes. Before just throwing two people in there. On independents, you could get away with that, but you can't on national television because the fan is paying more attention on TV than on the independents. So I like what I'm seeing, and I think it's going to go nowhere but up the next several months. I think this is the start of an upswing, and I think it started all in Texas. So.
Yeah, I'd give them credit for even the build up to All In, because they were the biggest criticism you could level at AEW is they had matches just to have matches. And that's really gone away the last year. And I think now people are truly realizing it. They're doing a much better job with the winners of the Casino Gauntlet, essentially using it like the Money in the Bank, which, I mean, why wouldn't you? You know? So I think all the moves they're doing make sense. The roster signings they're making now make sense. It's people they're using, and they're able to cycle people in and out. So really good job. I just wanted to give AEW a little bit of credit before we dig in, because got it right behind me. That's the main event of night 2. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, going up against the Never Seen 17, your undisputed WWE champion, John Cena, in what I think virtually everyone that's given an opinion has said has been a disappointing, underwhelming championship reign, starting from the way he won the belt. But it does break a record, and you know, it's going to be a question as to whether they go ahead and pull the trigger now and give John Cena time to find himself, just like Christian Cage has to, or if this drags on a little bit longer. We'll let it drag on until we get to our final pick, though, because it is the last match of SummerSlam. 2 nights, 6 matches. They're going at WrestleMania style. Going to have 50,000 plus at MetLife Stadium, the New York Jets, the New York Giants Stadium, each night, right there in the beautiful New York Metroplex, just over the river in Jersey, but still New York City. Got some interesting matches. Night 1, Sami Zayn taking on, and if you don't have it yet, Karrion Kross, with his autobiography out, Life is Fighting. Karrion Kross has been one of the most organically over wrestlers in WWE the last 6 months, peaking with his match at Bloodsport in WrestleMania, and then his promo after WrestleMania. Does Karrion Kross get a big win here against Sami Zayn? I think, yeah, because, I mean, it's now or never. I mean, his contract literally ends this month, so they got to make a decision on him. What do you think?
Yeah,
off with you.
Yeah, I agree that he absolutely needs this win. And I'm going to say he is my prediction right now. If for some reason he loses, I think that gives me a little bit of an indication as far as where things might be contract-wise. I think that it was a great idea for Triple H to bring him back into the fold once he assumed creative control. That's one of those characters he was very proud of in NXT that just was decimated by the repackaging that Vince did and never really recovered. But when he returned in 2022, he's debuting in the middle of a program with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. So you're being positioned for success there. It's just that they did not capitalize on it. I give them all the credit in the world for trying Final Testament, bringing AOP and Paul Ellering back. But really, at this point, Cross and Scarlett, they are the only package that's the duo they need. They don't need anybody else around them anymore. This is a huge opportunity for Karrion Kross. This program with Sami Zayn has been from start to finish, and I hope that they do the right thing, capitalize on it, and get Kross this win here so that way he can move up in the mid card, because we're going to talk about the Intercontinental Championship here in a little bit, and I personally see that changing hands as well, and AJ is going to need some challengers. He's got some history with Kross already. Yeah,
and Kross was a dominant champion under Triple H in NXT, had some huge matches against Adam Cole, Bebe, and yeah, I mean, I think he's due. Sonny, what do you think here? Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn kicking off SmackDown.
SummerSlam. Probably Kross, but I root for Sami Zayn. He keeps getting beat week in and week out. That's not good for Sami Zayn's business. We need some wins. I mean, if we're going to be tomorrow's athlete, it's time to start count for some W's. And I'd like to see Sami go over in an upset. Each week he comes out, he gives better ring interviews. He performs a little better in each match week to week. Now it's time to make that turn and get that win. And I'm hoping it's going to be Sami in the show. I'm ready to see Sami kind of move up and go forward if that's where WWE is trying to take him at this point in time. I mean, how many matches can you continue to lose and still be in the top group at this point? So,
well, if it's kind of the character, he's had a couple of runs with titles. The one where he was essentially playing, he was, I think, the Liberator, but he was basically playing like this third world kind of dictator guy. And then, of course, beating Gunther for the Intercontinental title, which was a big upset, high profile moment at SummerSlam, got everybody behind him. You know, Sami could just be the traditional pure baby face that's better when he's chasing. Because when you win the title, it takes away a little bit of that underdog edge.
Sometimes, but I think in Sami's case, he's hoping for the bigger payday. He seems to be trying to get the bloodline back together, and I think if he's able to accomplish that, that's going to make him a major player in the coming months in WWE.
Oh yeah, he's definitely an upper part of the card guy, and he's on the card, so that's significant because there's a few big names that didn't make the list. A match that I don't think is on anybody's list as going to be the match of the weekend. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll taking on, assuming he gets his visa straightened out, Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Jelly Roll filling in for Travis Scott after Travis Scott wasn't doing the training. I mean, I don't think there's going to be much here, and honestly, it really doesn't matter much. Mr. Cincinnati, do you care much about the Randy Orton, Jelly Roll, Drew, and Logan Paul matchup?
Not particularly. This is kind of the attraction match. That's really all that it is. And you know, Jelly Roll seems to be putting in the work at PC. I think he moved temporarily down to Orlando to be close to the PC, and he's put in the effort. He's gotten himself in, I think he said, the best shape he had been in since like 8th or 9th grade.
He's lost a few hundred pounds.
Yeah, I give him all the credit in the world because it is a very physically demanding sport, and you want people that are interested and involved and want to do the training to do that. It sounds, we're not in those writers' rooms, but it does sound like the investment in Travis Scott through most of 2025 has been an abject failure. Especially if you've had a chance to watch the docuseries on Netflix. Travis Scott was featured very heavily in it, and I think that they're probably regretting that at this point. Just the investment that they made and the impact that he had for worse in certain aspects of storytelling this year. But Randy Orton is in the era of just having a good time. He knows that he doesn't have very many years left. I know that he wants to, continue this until he's 50 if he can, and he's certainly in the shape to do it. But his legacy is not impacted by being in this match at SummerSlam. This is an opportunity for Jelly Roll to go up against Logan Paul, who adapted to the business very quickly. Drew McIntyre has been, he's one of the best heels of 2024. Seems like he's in a little bit of a rut right now as far as coming off of the Damian Priest feud. So I think that this should be a big win for McIntyre and Logan Paul. I think they both could use it, but I think with the work that Jelly Roll has been putting in, I think Randy and Jelly Roll get the win here.
All right, Sonny.
I'm kind of taking a liking to Jelly Roll. I first saw him on NBC News early one morning. And he still had some weight on then. He's taken the role seriously that he's involved in with Randy Orton. I don't want to see it be a burn through, though. If they're going to do this, let's have it around for a little while and continue the feud and see how far it can go. it is surprising to me from time to time how the industry will bring in someone from the outside and put them in a main event type setup, which is kind of what this is, and see how far the person could run with the ball. I think it's a breath of fresh air. Jody Rhodes got his work cut out for him. I don't think Randy Orton is all fired up about this as Jody Rhodes, but that's okay too. And that's what makes it entertaining at certain points of a match card of this caliber. So I'm looking forward to the entertainment side of this and to see if they continue with the feud beyond this.
That's fair. That's fair. And Jelly Roll is he's a happy guy, and he's an advocate.
Happy,
he's going to be a good spokesperson.
Happy all the time.
Yeah. He's a
happy
positive guy, no doubt about that. And I think Drew McIntyre can get heated up almost immediately with another one of the matches that we're going to get up to here on night one. Sonny, we'll go ahead and let you kick this one off. Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton. Probably the biggest negative moment on the WWE Netflix show, as she was seen getting called out by Triple H for bringing Charlotte's divorce up from another guy who we're going to talk about later. She is going up against the oncoming storm, Jade Cargill, your queen of the ring. Sonny, does Jade pull it off and get her first world championship? She was the TBS champion for a long time in AEW, and then held the tag titles with Bianca for quite a while.
I'm truly hoping this is Jade's night. I've looked at this a little while now, and Jade has prepared herself physically to be the champion at this point. Tiffany's had a good run, but I think the numbers are in Jade's favor, and I think she walks out the champion.
And Mr. Cincinnati should be pulling for her because she is Ms. Brandon Phillips. Cincinnati Reds all-time great.
Yeah. Many classic games at Great American Ballpark up here. I think that this is her time. The fanfare was much deserved when she signed with WWE, and I know we kind of got started a little bit slower out of the gate as far as her debut year, but once November hit, the injury was unfortunate, but they got an incredible story out of it that that created growth not just for Jade Cargill but for Naomi, Bianca Belair as well. This story has benefited all of them, and this is a program that we often cite on our show of, here are things that you can do with the women's division that do not require a championship. Give us a real story. Give us something to be invested in. And it has worked incredibly well for all three women involved. I mean, Jade got the massive win at Evolution in a great no-holds-barred match that Bianca was the referee in. Naomi didn't win there, but she got to cash in Money in the Bank. I mean, the involvement these three have created megastars out of Jade and Naomi and put them firmly into the main event scene. This is nothing against Tiffany, but I think that there is a little bit more that this title run left a lot more to be desired, which is okay because it's not going to be the last time that she is a world champion by any stretch of the imagination, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, doesn't matter. Like, she is firmly the future. But with what they have done to present Jade Cargill as the threat that she is, you put the title on her now. It's time.
And then as soon as Bianca Belair's back, she's out injured right now with broken finger from the WrestleMania triple threat match, which may have been the match of the year and legitimately could be under a lot of people's opinion. She's going to be back soon, and it would be really interesting then to continue that story with her frenemies both holding the world champions, because Bianca Belair is going to want to go after one, and obviously I'm picking Jade Cargill too. The women's tag team championship, another story where I think they've done a good job. Judgment Day actually kind of accelerated after Liv Morgan got hurt in that kind of freak shoulder separation. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the Prodigy, they're the champions. and they're going up against the We're Not Friends team of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to think Alexa and Charlotte win. Sonny, I know you're a big Charlotte Flair fan. Got some connections to
Way
the
back.
Flair dynasty. Go ahead. Give us your pick.
Saw Charlotte in the ring at Lodi's training camp, and I knew then she had it. Just occasionally somebody will walk past you and you'll say, that person, there's something different about that person. I think it's going to be Charlotte Blitz's night. They've been together before, and they seem to be having a good time in the role that they currently have. There doesn't seem to be any real friction between the two of them. It was said on social media during the last 2 weeks or so that Charlotte had taken her out a few times on the town to discuss things, and apparently, and kind of a work retreat, and they seem to get along on camera, and that's the main thing. That's what the office is looking at, guys, is how well two people are really paired up. Rick Steamboat, Jay Youngblood had the greatest title run of anybody in the industry. They didn't get along halfway through the thing, but they kept them together for 4 or 5 more title runs. So it's not always black and white in real life, but Charlotte and Bliss seem to have it. Charlotte's smiling more these days. She seems to be enjoying the role of the babyface, and I think this is their night to go over. I'll eat my words if not, but I've just got a feeling about this one. The commentators are talking them up real good, and that's usually a sign. If they start talking them up and the interviews go well, then that's going to be your next champion. Seems to be the market of how they approach these things. So yeah, Charlotte and Blitz.
I think we're going to see some title changes too, because if you're going to separate SummerSlam from the predictable PLEs that fall in between WrestleMania and SummerSlam,
Amen.
You got to have some big wins. Mr. Cincinnati, the women's tag title.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I do think that Alexa and Charlotte walk away with the titles here. The thing is, this works because I think that they both came up in NXT together, and there was a friendship that was struck, many years ago. And it's been a whirlwind couple of years for Charlotte Flair, and I think that would be an understatement, especially based on the Players Tribune article that she wrote. Very, very well written. If you've not had a chance to read it, absolutely do. They've tried the Charlotte Flair babyface runs before. The problem is that they have not felt very authentic. And it's hard to buy her as somebody that you want to cheer for, given how she was presented for so long as a heel, as basically, the reincarnation of her as her father's daughter. Like, she's a natural heel. Yeah. Like, it just is what it is. So those attempts felt very inauthentic. This one is different because we look at the return at the Rumble, 14 months away, devastating knee surgery, has missed the WrestleMania, gets the opportunity to have the dream match with Tiffany Stratton. The build to that got chaotic, and things went off script, things were said, and it just really cast a pall on that match itself. But as Sonny has already said, Charlotte Flair looks to be having a lot of fun here. We're seeing Ashley come out as part of this presentation, which I absolutely love, because it is endearing her to the crowd in a way that it's just never worked before. And that's advantageous because we are going to see these two win the women's tag team championships. And down the line, we're going to see Charlotte Flair turn on Alexa Bliss. Like, that's just what's going. She's a Flair. Like, you have the hard money is on her turning on Alexa Bliss, and that's going to make her an even bigger heel, because we did get to see this side of her that's like, oh, this is refreshing, this is different. And I saw this on TikTok earlier today. There was some interaction between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in 2021 or 2022, in which Charlotte destroyed Lily the doll. After Alexa tried to give Charlotte her own Lily-esque looking doll, that if you really want to, Triple H is a student of history when it comes to wrestling. It would not be surprising if that thread is kind of why this team eventually implodes. So give me Charlotte and Alexa. I think that the eventual blow off between these two is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Alexa Bliss finally has something that she can sink her teeth into because she came back at the Rumble, was in the Elimination Chamber, but was pretty quiet for several months. And they've done a great job building to this We're Not Friends storyline. It's giving a lot of Team Hell No energy.
Better than the magical superpowers that
Yes.
Alexa Bliss has been stuck with for a few years. Okay, we got 2 more matches, and honestly, I'm not sure which one's the main event. I think it's going to be this one will be the main event. So I'm going to go with this match first because I want to talk about the WWE World Championship last for the night.
Okay.
Your tribal chief, the original tribal chief, the one tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and main event Jey Uso take on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in a tag team match. Braun Breaker taking control of the faction with the Wise Men, Paul Heyman, and Seth freaking Rollins' absence. 2 questions. Do you see Roman and Jey Uso winning this one? And is Seth Rollins really hurt as bad as being reported, or do we see him make a return? Go ahead and start, Miss Cincinnati.
These are really, really good questions. I think I have to go with my gut here. It's not often that Roman Reigns is selling for people on Monday Night Raw, and that's exactly what happened this week. Braun is very clearly the future, and they see him as the guy. And the fact that he is getting a SummerSlam tag team match against Roman and Jey Uso, both former world champions, this is a massive opportunity for the both of them. I think I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to go with Braun and Bronson getting the win here. I think Jey Uso takes the pin. But this is the start of something between Roman and Braun. I think, I mean, as much as I would love to see them do this at Clash in Paris, I think that if planned right, you can wait until Vegas next year for this. Okay.
And Sonny? That would be putting the Wise Man in the middle between Roman and Braun.
I think it's going to be close down to the wire. I think there may even be some outside interference. But I'm thinking it's going to be the upset match of the night, and I think it's going to be Braun. Darren, they've hyped Braun up so much the past 6 months that he may have trouble living up to the hype here at some point. They work him back to back repeatedly, and I think they've been waiting for an angle to get he and Roman against each other in a singles match, and I think this could be the match that does that. I question Paul Heyman's involvement and whether or not he and Roman can patch up their differences. I don't know how many people saw this, but when Roman came out, I saw a smile between Roman and Paul for a little bit, and the camera really didn't play into that, but it was vividly clear and there. And you could tell that maybe they wanted to talk somewhere a little bit. It was like they hadn't seen each other in all that time. As for Seth Rollins, I saw the move that injured him. It could go either way on that. It could be he's playing possum. It could be he's not as seriously hurt as reports have said. When I saw it, it didn't look like he was seriously hurt at the time of the actual involvement with the move. That was my whole thing. To say he was hurt afterwards kind of put a cloud on it to me, and it was like the guy that brings the doctor's note or brought the doctor's note in all the time and say, I can't wrestle. And if he's not hurt, then it is a play for his Money in the Bank ticket. So you can't trust Seth at this point in time. I mean, by the way they've shown him repeatedly as being the heel. So I'll go on the record and say he's probably not as hurt as what's being told. So,
yeah. I agree with that.
I think there is a legitimate injury. He does has a history of knee injuries. And what he said when he was filling in for Rich Eisen that they had to wait to do the MRI because there was too much swelling. That's true. That happens. But now you have stories coming out that there was an injury angle planned already. So, yeah, everything's kind of up in the air. I do think that Braun and Bronson win because that continues the story. And to be fair, Braun Breaker has the bloodline himself of the Steiners.
Mm-hmm.
He has the explosivity athletically. He's got the wise man on his side. So you add all that together, it comes out to about 113.3% chance of winning using his uncle's mathematics.
Yeah.
So I'll go with them using a little Steiner math. The championship match, Gunther, the ring general, taking on CM Punk. It's clobbering time. His favorite characters got a movie that's at the top of the box office. So everybody now knows what the it's clobbering time comes from. I think this is CM Punk's turn to win. If they're going to seriously give him a championship, man, it's got to be now, because you want to talk about injury prone. CM Punk's missed more time than he's been able to compete in the last 4 years, and he's not getting any younger. Mr. Cincinnati, what do you think here? Gunther and CM Punk.
Yeah, this is another tough one here. Just because as great as Gunther is, and we've seen the dominance with the NXT UK Championship, we saw it with the Intercontinental Championship, it has not felt the same way in these 2 world title runs. Not at all. And it is a little concerning, because Gunther should be a force. He should be just head and shoulders above everybody else. And I mean, again, look at that incredible Intercontinental Championship reign. He was doing that. The first reign suffered from entirely too much Judgment Day. Like, he could not get away from Damian Priest, who was still being chased by Finn Balor. And that it took forever to get to that blow off between Finn Balor and Damian Priest, that it just sucked all the air out of the room. I love that Jey Uso got the Royal Rumble story and the WrestleMania win. Totally fine with that. I didn't need a lengthy run from Jey Uso. Dominant win by Gunther to take his title back, but it's still like something just feels off compared to his Intercontinental Championship run. And I would like to see at this point, I need to see him away from the title picture. We have to reestablish him as a threat at any given time, because one of my favorite things about Gunther has always been he can beat you any number of ways. If he wants to do the double power bomb, he's just gonna he can pin you that way. Wants to put you to sleep, he can do that too. He's got the lariats that are really strong. He has the single leg Boston Crab. Like, he has an infinite number of ways to beat anybody on the roster. And it just does not feel like that with him at the top as World Heavyweight Champion. And it's at this point, it's kind of alarming. And I think a reset would be nice right now. Kind of like what we're talking about with Tiffany Stratton and taking the title off of her. That reign didn't really have a lot that, sparked my interest in it the way that it should have. That some time away from the title picture, a good singles feud is a way to rebuild him. CM Punk, everybody is waiting to see him win a world title again. And I agree with you, Gerald. It is kind of a now or never sort of thing. Give me CM Punk.
Yeah. And Sonny, let me ask you this too, because listening to what Mr. Cincinnati was saying, would Gunther benefit from having somebody talking either for him or with him? With Imperium, he had Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni. He's by himself now, and it's not exactly the most inspiring and energetic promos. He's good as a smug, condescending heel, but it's kind of a one-note character. Do you think he would benefit from having a manager with him?
I think he would. And Paul Heyman has looked at him once or twice in passing as of late. I don't know what that's leaded up to, if anything, but they're not letting Gunther talk the way they've allowed other champions to talk. And I'll go on record saying that. He gets these little crummy interview slots, and he's supposed to make it work, and they give him 10 minutes to say something, and that's it. Sometimes it's even less than that. And he's supposed to be the master of disaster, the tower of power, yada, yada. And he's not allowed to build into that all the way. And I don't understand why. And what are you going to do with him when he does lose? I mean, where's he going to go? He's been a top guy all this time. I don't see him seeking and going to the bottom. So I give the badge to CM Punk. I think it's CM Punk's day, but I say take Gunther back, remold him, reshape him, line him up with a manager, be it Paul Heyman or whoever thinks they could go out there and help him get it back a third time and be the bigger heel. They're just not – they don't seem to be giving him the TV camera time attention that they've given other world heavyweight champions and champions. I don't understand why they're not doing it because he's so good at what he does. I think it's a miscarriage of justice, and I think it hurts the fanfare because they don't know if they should root for him or not at this point in time.
Yeah, that's fair. Because, I mean, it's just kind of a one tone when he does his promos. And
that's all.
I think he really misses, especially Ludwig Kaiser, because the whole Imperium added a level to him. Yeah. I mean, just doesn't feel special when he's out there talking.
We're all agreement.
Night 2, the WWE Tag Team Championships, the Wyatt Six. Fresh off of returning from TV from a long absence, they have the belts, and it is a TLC match with DIY, Gargano and Ciampa, the Street Profits, Fraxium, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Andrade El Idolo and Rey Fenix. This should be a great match. I mean, these are some incredible workers. The Motor City Machine Guns, one of the best tag teams of the last 20 years. Plenty of wrestlers say Alex Shelley is the best wrestler, period. Chris Sabin's been a champion dozens of times in TNA and Impact. Street Profits have looked really good. Fraxium's moved from NXT to WWE hasn't really missed a beat. Andrade and Phoenix have been champions in pretty much every promotion.
And Phoenix can walk the top rope by himself. So
Andrade, multiple championships in WWE. Sonny, who do you have a pick here? Any one of them is a credible pick.
I'm going on them. I'm going to say El Grande and Phoenix. Phoenix has really come up a long way this year, up the ladder of success. Anyone would be lucky to have him as a partner. El Grande has made all kinds of noise during the year. It's time.
El Idolo.
It's time. If
Andrade El Idolo, not El Grande Americano.
No, but he's still made all kinds of noise this year, and I think the two are going to be unbeatable in this tables, ladders, and chairs match. I think the Profits will probably be the tag team that'll be the hardest to overcome. The Profits look really good, and the fanfare's behind the Profits, so we'll see.
Fair. Mr. Cincinnati.
Yeah, Sonny, you're reading my mind. I got to go Andrade and Rey Fenix. This has been – I have really, really enjoyed this tag team because it would be easy to say, why not put Penta and Rey Fenix together? And for me, they're brothers. They will team eventually. They don't need to do that right now. Penta, there's just something unmistakable and undeniable about the sheer charisma that Penta just oozes that – everybody fell in love with him immediately. And why not see what you have in Penta as a single star? You can pair him and Phoenix up at any time. There will always be an opportunity for that. You don't need to do it right away just because they're both here. People are worried that Triple H may be, losing interest in Rey Fenix or that he's not being treated the way that Penta is. Like, he debuted this year. He got a match at WrestleMania that he was not supposed to get. He was not supposed to be on the card at WrestleMania, and he gets a WrestleMania payday. His first year in the company, like he's doing very, very well right now. Andrade, it seems like there had been kind of a slow start to his return as well. He had the great program with Carmelo Hayes that I think should have resulted in a U.S. title run. It didn't, and it is what it is. But this is the perfect way to use both of these guys. And credit to WWE because the tag team division on SmackDown has been incredible. The fact that I think every team, with the exception of Andrade and Rey Fenix and Fraxium, have held the tag team championships within the last year. So everybody has a credible claim to why they should be in this match. And we're making history here. This is the anniversary of the first TLC match, 25 years this weekend, or at least this 25 years later. And they're doubling down, 6 teams instead of 3. So this is going to be a demolition derby, if you ask me. But I think that this is an opportunity for Rey Fenix to shine. So give me Rey Fenix and Andrade.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Andrade and Fenix as well. I think Andrade is one of
the best. Got his name wrong.
Period. Yeah. I think he's one of the best workers, period, in the industry. I mean, he's a great wrestler, 3rd-generation superstar. The mask that he wears when he comes in, that was his dad's mask. That look, just really a terrific competitor. Rey Fenix can do just about anything, and in a very un-WWE style. All of these tag teams, with the exception of Andrade and Fenix, are established long-time tag teams. So that's something that you would not have seen in the old WWE. They're really making an effort to push the division, and it shows on SmackDown because these are legitimate tag team specialists, and they can put on great matches. Yeah. The Intercontinental title, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and freshly signed to a contract extension, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Mr. Cincinnati, Dirty Dom's finally cleared to compete. Is this the final title in the career of the phenomenal one?
I will not say. I don't think it's the final title, but I do want to see this championship run for AJ. He's been so quiet the last couple of years as far as his involvement in major stories, and this has been a lot of fun to see AJ flex the comedy muscles because Dom has been injured and they haven't been able to get physical. I've loved what he has done to just have some fun with it, because we give AJ all the credit in the world because he's one of the all-time greats when it comes to the in-ring, and to see him do something different in the build up to this feud as far as really having to rely on the character work has been a lot of fun to watch. So I'm definitely ready to see what this Intercontinental Championship run looks like for him, especially because I alluded to earlier, I would like to see Cross get a win and then find himself chasing AJ here over the next few months. That remains to be seen. But this will not be the end for Dominic Mysterio because I think that he is going to be taking the AAA Mega Championship. So one opportunity, one door closes, another one is going to open for Dirty Dom, and he's going to be a huge asset to AAA. So I really, really, really want to see that take place. But in order to do that, he's going to have to drop the IC title.
Fair enough. Sonny, Dirty Dom or the phenomenal AJ Styles?
AJ Styles. I think Dom will continue to make noise after this. I think he'll go back and lick his wounds and come back again. You may even see another match between he and AJ Styles on Raw or SmackDown, but I think it's going to be AJ Styles. He's had all the momentum going into this. Cameras have been all over him since he announced he wanted to do this, and I think it's going to be AJ's night.
Yeah, I do too. And speaking of cowardly, weaselly heels, the U.S. Championship, Solo Sikoa, your current champion. He's got his family with him, but it's going to be in a cage against the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Sonny, do you see the Samoan werewolf recapturing his belt?
I do. I think all gas and no brakes is going to be off the hook. I think he's got his own outside ring interference probably lined up for the night. People are supporting him more in the locker room. And I think it's going to be a payback night for the embarrassment caused by Solo, who began all this. I think this went way too far, crossing over the family lines and bringing in too many family members. I think it would have been a better deal for everybody if they had kept it Solo and Fatu in the beginning, but they didn't. And now we're left here hoping it's going to be for two in this one. So that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, and they were playing up having him arrested when, there's
All that
obviously
was off the
personal
hook.
backstory of Jacob's history with the law enforcement. So kind of rang true and really hit below the belt by Solo. Jacob being pushed as maybe your other future babyface along with Braun Breaker. Mr. Cincinnati, do you see the Samoan werewolf roaring his way to the win?
1000%. This Jacob Fatu is a star. It just, you see it the second he walked in the door. I think that the MFT group and the story as a whole kind of suffered from trying to rebrand as Bloodline 2.0 as opposed to, and I think that put everybody in a position where they were a little too big for their britches because it just didn't work. This is a group that's perfect for the mid card. But I was not buying Solo Sikoa as a world championship contender, at any time soon. And I think had they put the focus on, rebuilding this group where he is the front man, but not chasing the world title right away and put him in that mid-card division, it has worked brilliantly here. And he's gotten a U.S. title run out of it. But this was to better build Jacob Fatu, who I think will just have an incredible back half of 2025. He's certainly one of my favorites to win the Rumble next year.
20 years ago, Solo Sikoa, I think, could have been a legitimate top of the card wrestler. But no offense to him, he is a legitimately away from the script and everything. He's actually a really nice guy. I know a bunch of people that worked with him in Future Stars of Wrestling in Las Vegas. He's not a tremendous worker. And Jacob Fatu is at a different level.
Yes.
I mean, he lives up to the all gas, no brakes. And he has to get, I think, some royalties from K-pop group Blackpink because they actually used all gas, no brakes in their current song. So Jacob Fatu deserves some songwriting credits from Blackpink, stealing his line. The Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch holding on to it. And this seems like the match that never ends. I think this is the fourth or fifth matchup they've had against Lyra Valkyria for the title. And sure, why not? Let Lyra win it. Mr. Cincinnati, what do you think here?
Yeah, I think so. This program, for as long as it has gone on, this has served to establish the credibility of this championship, and it has established Lyra Valkyria as a legitimate star in WWE. When we look back to last year going for Queen of the Ring, yes, she was one of the favorites, making it to the finals, but the crowd reactions were very muted to her. And, we've always known that she's an incredible talent. It was just, what do we need to do to endear her to the audience? And this program with Becky Lynch has done an incredible job of that. This has really helped her to come into her own. And I just don't see how she doesn't walk out with the championship here. Becky has done what she needed to do to help elevate this title. Bayley is still going to be lurking there. I think that heel turn is also coming, and let Lyra and Bayley have a program the rest of the year for the title there. But I think, Lyra gets the win here. Becky gets to move on and hopefully find another single story.
And Sonny, are you in agreement that maybe a Nightwing hits the man and Lyra Valkyria gets the title?
I am, but I'll say what I have enjoyed about this rivalry is the rivalry. This is one of the ways that they used to do it back in my day when you get your Rick Steamboat and your Steve Austin together, and you would go 4, 5, 6 times, and then on the final show you'd have just this incredible 45-minute fight. And you say, well, how did they do that? Well, they bet 5 times previously. They know each other now, and they put on a great performance as far as the match goes. And that's where I see. I get asked occasionally, where do I see the WWE going? I think they're trying to dial back the dial a little bit and bring in the rivalries more. And as a result, you're getting your older guys who quit watching WWE to come back. And maybe you're attracting some guys like my dad who has had no interest in the WWE, but maybe they've heard of some of the ongoings and they tune in to see if so and so and so and so are still going at it against each other. I think it makes for a better story to at least have it 3 or 4 times between the same two people rather than to do a squash match. And that's what we've witnessed the past couple of months here have been squash type matches. And, Charlotte Flair against Tiffany, it was a squash match kind of. And I like the rivalry better. I think it brings out the athleticism in the two people going against each other a lot better. So I'm not opposed to the long story of Tiffany and Dakar, but I am ready to see Dakar come out on top and Tiffany to move on to something greater than where she's at right now.
Yeah, fair. Women's World Championship. We're going to have a 3-way match here. Naomi just securing the title. She cashed in the Money in the Bank. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. I don't see Naomi's really clipping right now. I don't see her losing, but this should be a terrific match. Sonny, what do you think here with Naomi, Io Sky, the genius of the sky, and Rhea Ripley?
I think at the end of the day, it's going to be Naomi, but I think we're going to see a lot out of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. I don't think Ripley is quite there yet. I think she needs to tone up herself a little bit more before they make her champion. Naomi came out of nowhere, and I mean literally nowhere. People had almost, Mr. Cincinnati, forgotten about Naomi for a minute because she'd been gone so long. So I don't think she's going to drop the title here. I think she'll drop it probably in a couple more pay-per-views to Rhea Ripley. And then I think it'll be Rhea Ripley and Io Sky at it one more time with Rhea Ripley champion.
Sure. It's fair. I agree with that. Mr. Cincinnati?
Yeah, Naomi is doing the best work of her career right now. There's zero reason to take the title off of her at SummerSlam because of the hype and the fanfare that we saw going into Money in the Bank, going into Evolution, the match with Jade Cargill. She's just tapped into something otherworldly with this character, and it's working. So to see her move away to Raw and to mixed up with the incredible talents that we have there now, everybody can say, oh, well, it was the cash in, which is why she got lucky at Evolution. She's going to prove at SummerSlam that win was not a fluke. We know that Rhea and Io are wrestling soulmates and they have incredible chemistry in the ring. Naomi is one of, if not the most athletic woman on the roster right now. So she's only going to add to this story and this history that we have between Rhea and Io. Sonny, I will say the only thing that I will differ from you from is that it will not be Rhea that challenges Naomi next. It'll be Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris. And I will not rule out Stephanie Vaquer walking out with the women's world title there because they are very invested in her. And she has, from the second that she walked in as well, everybody has been in love with Stephanie Vaquer, deservedly so, that I don't see why you wait any longer. If she's already been given this opportunity to have a world title opportunity, I say we put it on her at Clash in Paris. But for now, this weekend, SummerSlam, it's all about the glow. Proceed with caution.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I agree with Stephanie Vaquer being on the short list too, because she has those connections to AAA as well. Really, you can look at Stephanie Vaquer as the reason why, in part, AAA ends up pairing with the WWE and CMLL ends up pairing with AEW. Go ahead and search it online. You can actually see Tony Khan's comments on it. So, I mean, it's right out there because Stephanie Vaquer was in a featured match on Forbidden Door, which is AEW's next big event coming up towards the end of August. Final match. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, in a street fight. I liked the contract signing segment. I thought that was really well done with Cody grabbing Cena's hand and making him sign it after he threw him through the table. Is it time for the championship run to end for John Cena, Mr. Cincinnati?
Mercifully, yes. This run should have been better than it was. I love that he's getting the retirement tour and that this entire year was going to be dedicated to his goodbye. The WrestleMania 41 main event just left such a terrible taste in my mouth that it just seemed very like they haven't really pulled the nose up from there. And we've gotten the great match with Randy Orton. We've gotten the CM Punk match. But overall, the title run itself just has not been spectacular. And I think that this is an opportunity at SummerSlam for them to correct what frustrated so many fans at WrestleMania. The stipulation is great because now Cody has seen Cena stoop to new lows to win his title and to keep his title. That now that it's a street fight, Cody can adapt to that because he doesn't have to color within inside the lines. He doesn't have to follow any particular rules in this. So it does give him an out to be a little bit more aggressive than he had been at WrestleMania. So I mean, I think it's time. Let's go Cody Rhodes, and Cena's going to reflect on his ways. And I think that we're going to see a shift in this back half of the year.
Yeah. Sonny, having personally been in the stadium during WrestleMania, I can attest it was a very underwhelming match and kind of poorly received, even though the vast majority of the crowd thought, okay, Cena's winning somehow. It was dead walking out of there versus walking out of WrestleMania in Philadelphia, where the people stayed in the stadium for 15 minutes and it was electric. So definitely, I think you could see a change in momentum coming. Now, unless, of course, you pick the never seen 17 champion, that's fine too. Sonny?
I think at this point it's going to be Cody Rhodes, but I think we're going to have a confrontation between John Cena and The Rock eventually, and I think John Cena will turn toward babyface before he fully retires. I think there's a momentum there for that, and we may even see The Rock and John Cena in a match against each other. But I don't think it'll be a world title fight or title fight. I think Cody Rhodes is going to get to continue his story at this event, and that's who I'm pulling for is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that will be a good ending to the first 2-day SummerSlam. And if you have some title changes too, it helps give it that weight where, hey, this is equal to WrestleMania. Because I think people want to see that it's not Backlash. It's not just another
not the night of champions.
PLE and it doesn't matter. Yeah.
So
I mean, it can be a little bit.
Was that one title change in the whole thing? I was like the fans. I was going, what?
Yeah. Well, hey, I want to let you take some time. You had a commentary you wanted to give about Hulk Hogan. I'll preface it with today in the state of Florida, it was Hulk Hogan Day. The flags were at half staff with this executive order from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. And there's been a lot of talk, a lot of people in wrestling circles saying, hey, let's remember the career and keep the personal, despicable actions personally in context too, but let's give him credit for the career. That's basically what Kevin Nash came out and said. And I think that's fair because obviously you don't see the pro wrestling world you see now without the impact of Hulk Hogan.
No.
And Sonny, go ahead. I'll let you start. I just wanted to give a little context.
Mr. Cincinnati, about every 2 weeks or so during the month, I do a commentary. And this week there was a lot of buzzing going around about the death of Hulk Hogan and Terry Gene Bolla, who died on July 24th, 2025 at the age of 71. That's what I decided to do, Mr. Bentley, when I came up with this commentary, if you will, on Hulk Hogan. I decided to look back at his career and not at all the buzz around him. I asked a few people how they felt about him. Mr. Cincinnati, to be honest, I didn't even use what they said in my final commentaries. Anyway, this is going to take me a minute. Tonight's commentary, wrestling fans, is on Terry Gene Bolla, Hulk Hogan. Died July 24th, 2025 at the age of 71. This commentary is not going to be an obituary or tribute, but instead a thank you. A thank you to a man who was arguably one of the greatest, most successful professional wrestlers of all time. A megastar who took the baton passed to him by Andre the Giant and took professional wrestling to a whole new level. He was a wrestler, a movie star, and a businessman. When Hogan walked out the door, it didn't matter how big or small the room or building was, Hulk Hogan owned the room. His walkout music, I Am a Real American, pounded one chord over and over again. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Hulkamania was everywhere. Kids were dressing up as Hogan for Halloween, and his was the biggest name in the business. What wrestling skills Hogan lacked in the ring, he made up for as a showman. Hogan, dressed in yellow and red colors, came out waving an American flag in one hand and holding up one finger in the other. At 6'7", weighing around 300 pounds, Hogan made quite an entrance. Hogan's job as a performer was to get under your skin any way he could. Hogan had begun using manager Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South, who came out holding a blowhorn and yelling, "He's here, ladies and gentlemen, he's here. Hulk Hogan is in the building." Jimmy Hart didn't blend in well either. Dressed in a suit with cool, loud colors, Hart often wore a picture of Hogan's face that looked like it was airbrushed onto the back of his dress coat. Yes, the two were quite a pair. Bobby the Brain Heenan did his part in the entrance as well by denouncing Hulk Hogan as best as he could during what seemed like an hour-long entrance. Whether you loved him, liked him, or hated Hogan, it didn't matter, because at the end of the day, when the Hulks ran in the room, everyone stood up. So who were the Hulkamaniacs, and why were they called that? The Hulkamaniacs were intended to be the younger fans in a WWF-run show in a short period of time. But in a short period of time, the younger fans' parents, and yes, even grandparents, had all respectfully become Hulkamaniacs. WWF owner Vince McMahon finally had what he had always wanted: a good guy wrestler who could not only become famous but transcend the sport and become immortal. Andre the Giant with Beach Boy good looks. How did Hogan become so famous? The bottom line, I think, was directly related to World Wrestling Federation marketing. Never before in the history of professional wrestling would one wrestler accomplish so much. Hogan wrestled them all, and not always mind you for a title belt either. The Iron Sheik, Sergeant Slaughter, The Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, Yokozuna, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and yes, Andre the Giant. In the later years, Hogan would lead the New World Order in World Championship Wrestling, and in doing so, would become one of the greatest bad guys the industry had ever seen. Hogan gave 100% of himself every time he entered the ring. Once he conquered wrestling, he turned his attention to Hollywood. From his first appearance in Rocky III to No Holds Barred to Paradise. To Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise TV show, yeah.
Hogan, over time, became the first wrestler to cross over and become a true Hollywood star. Not only did America lose one of its greatest professional wrestlers, it also lost America's first wrestling icon. Hulkamaniacs everywhere stopped for a moment last week to remember a mythical figure from childhood. Thank you for the memories from the birth of Hulkamania in 1984 to the defeat of the Iron Sheik to slamming Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3. These are the moments that will endure. These are the moments that will be forever, that will be remembered forever. Good night, Mr. Hogan. You'll surely be missed. So thank you, Terry, Gene, Bola, Hulkster Hogan.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of impact on the industry and just crossover, yeah, you can't question it. Obviously, personal actions later in life definitely turned off, deservedly so, many people, but you can't question the impact that he had on the industry. I did want to ask you one question, though, because, and ask both of you guys, how much of Hulk Hogan came from the run as WWF champion of superstar Billy Graham, which was cut off by Vince's dad because Vince's dad wanted a babyface champion, and he pushed superstar Billy Graham out, which you can watch the Dark Side of the Ring that led to the downfall of the superstar. But man, if you watch old superstar Billy Graham when he was at his peak, there's a lot of Hulk Hogan in there. Did Vince just learn the lesson from the mistake his dad made by throwing superstar out to go with Bob Backlund and said, I need my own guy? And that's kind of what gave Hulk Hogan that jet fuel to begin with.
Yeah, it definitely a kind of perfect storm of things. There was a lot of influence from Billy Graham, but also he was coming off of Rocky, so he had some mainstream appeal. It was just right place, right time, right packaging.
Yeah, which happens a lot. I mean, there's nothing against that because Ric Flair was on a bigger stage. Maybe the Nature Boy, and the Nature Boy is a big deal anyways, but maybe he would have been even bigger. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. We'll do our Champion of the Week, this time brought to you by Nixie XS, who is in the feature match of Fountain City Pro's return show to Kansas City coming up August 15th at the Ball Event Center in Olathe. Nixie XS and Izzy B taking on Ashlyn and Shylin in a little tag team matchup in Fountain City Pros. The show goes on, brought to you by Wrestling Spotlight.
Come see me, Nixie XS, the Versace of violence, the main girl, the height of fashion, on Wrestling Spotlight TV on True TV Plus.
Okay, and Mr. Cincinnati, your Champion of the Week.
Yes, my Champion of the Week is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He appeared on Hot Ones this week, survived the 10 Wings of Death, no water, no milk. I can't do it, so better him than me, so I'm going to go American Nightmare.
Go on, and he was on with Stephen A. Smith this morning on First Take, too. Sonny.
Roddy Piper, the Hot Rod. Today marks the anniversary of his death. Yeah. He died at 61 years old. I met the Hot Rod many times. He was very nice to me. He asked me periodically if I was still interested in being a wrestler. I told him I was, and he never doubted it. What I liked about Rowdy Roddy Piper was he looked like an average guy. He wasn't too big. He wasn't too small. He said what he felt. I incorporated Rowdy Roddy Piper into the Man Eagle image a little bit by following suit, and the world's a little bit darker place without him. So
yeah, great personality too. He was definitely a big part of that WWE WWF run. with the Hulkster, because Roddy was definitely the guy who could give the promo and talk down anyone. His daughter, Teal Piper, still actively on the wrestling circuit and really interesting person to talk to. I'm going to go with the fallen goddess, Athena. She got a chance to have a highlight match on AEW Dynamite. She's been doing great work in Ring of Honor, but just, people don't really see it too much. And she also runs a successful independent promotion out of Dallas, Metroplex Wrestling, that's ran by Athena and her husband, Matt Palmer, who you may remember him from TNA Impact, but he's a terrific trainer as well. So the fallen goddess, Athena, gets my champion of the week. And we'll wrap it up here. Mr. Cincinnati, any special promos coming up for the Wrestling Junkies podcast?
No, so it's a pretty quiet next week or so. I'll be on vacation next week, so we'll have episodes Monday and Tuesday, basically breaking down both nights of SummerSlam.
Good enough. Nothing wrong with that. That's quality programming. And Sonny, where can people catch up with you throughout the week?
People can catch up with me at Sonny Cain at Real Sonny Cain on X, and they can catch up with me at Sonny Cain at the Man Eagle on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot. Have a great week. Enjoy SummerSlam, and stay tuned here to Wrestling Spotlight TV. You can see some terrific events from Glory Pro Wrestling, from Fountain City Pro, and Pro South, all new to Wrestling Spotlight TV, including St. Louis Vice from Glory Pro. It's one of their big pay-per-views. First time premiere on Wrestling Spotlight TV. Definitely worth the watch. Have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week on Wrestling Spotlight TV.